Hello and welcome to another edition of Would You Rather. If you like these answers and you think they're fun and funny, I put up a lot more bonus content on my Patreon. Different questions, different answers. Patreon.com/Colt Cabana. It's a great way to support. I hope to see you over there. Otherwise, let's jump into it. At Optimus Chad 518 asks, would you rather let New Jack stick you after he took something you said as disrespectful, or would you rather wrestle in an entire tournament of death for CZW in just jean shorts? Well, I guess we can say right off the bat that both of these have happened to somebody in the wrestling world. Tournament of death more often, but that's all we know documented because it's available on DVD or on demand. You can watch those. And there's a lot of people who have wrestled just in jean shorts. Wife Beater, Zandig, Joey Janela. And on the other hand, probably more people have gotten stuck by New Jack, but it's just not on the record. We just don't know about it. This is topical. I've podcasted with New Jack. You could, of course, listen to that archive on my Patreon, obviously. But at first, I thought you were basically saying to me, well, with the New Jack, you're basically going to die. And maybe you could toughen out, the whole CZW Tournament of Death, and you won't really die. You'll just have those weird little poke marks that all those deathmatch wrestlers seem to have on them. It's just like, it just looks like a sheet of zits, but it's not. It's just scar tissue that's built up over time. But some of those people who have disrespected New Jack, they've lived to tell another day, and we learned on Dark Side of the Ring that one of them wanted to go around the loop with New Jack. So I guess it's not necessarily an instant death, but I feel that the Tournament of Death, although would be awful, would be the worst, will have a doctor there. There will be wrestlers willing to work with me, and I feel I could get through the night. And I'll probably get a decent payday. With New Jack, there's going to be no doctor there. I'll probably be dumped in a ditch somewhere. And New Jack's going to just take my payday, so I'd say for the sake of business, I'd rather make a little money with that Tournament of Death than die in a gutter via New Jack stabbing. Please don't take this as disrespect, New Jack. I'm so sorry. I know you're not going to listen to this, but there's an off chance that you might. I'm so sorry. I choose you, actually. You know what? I choose you. You're the one I would choose for anything and everything. You are my life. You are my blood. You are the greatest wrestler of all time. You would never stab anybody that would disrespect. Nobody would ever disrespect you, New Jack. Nobody would be dumb enough to disrespect you. Only respect. We only give you respect, New Jack. That's all. I've seen you on Instagram recently. I see what you're doing. You're doing great stuff. And you got that beautiful woman with you. You're a wonderful human being. You would never stab anybody. Never. And I know you just admitted to just stabbing people just because you wanted to. But now, this is New Jack. You're in your older age. You're not old. You're not old by any means, New Jack. I am so sorry. You are experienced. You're an experienced man now. You wouldn't, especially me, and I'm a Jew. That's a hate crime. But I know you don't care about hate crimes. It's just, I pick New Jack for president. At Mike CHR2K7 asks Colt Cabana, would you rather be the fourth member of Demolition or the third Beverly brother? This one's easy. First of all, Demolition had a great run, and Demolition can continue that run on the independents years after. Now, I got a lot of respect for the Beverly brothers, Bo and Blake, of course. Bo, Blake, and Colt doesn't sound like a third Beverly brother, but Axe, Smash, Crush, and Colt, I've already got it built in. We don't even know what the Beverly brothers were. What were the Beverly brothers? I think they were magicians, maybe? If I'm Colt of Demolition, every night I get to put on cool face paint and I can change it up. Also, maybe I don't feel like wrestling that night. Crush, you take it. Axe, you take it. Plus, as my friends Hawkins and Ryder, Myers and Cardona have told me, Demolition, way more fig friendly. I'd look like a figure. Beverly brothers, if magicians had action figures, then maybe sign me up. Otherwise, I'm in Demolition. At One Movie, One Rant asks Colt Cabana, would you rather be repackaged as a Hillbilly Jim cousin or the newest member of the York Foundation? Well, maybe some people don't know what the York Foundation was, but basically, it was Marlena, who was Alexandria York at the time, basically took boring-ass wrestlers and then made their name from short to full, and then you slicked your hair back and you had like a portfolio. So I guess I would be Colton Cabana, which doesn't sound like fun. So what am I, hanging out with Terrence Taylor? I'll pass, to be honest. Hillbilly Jim's cousin? Like Uncle Elmer? You're telling me I get to go to work in overalls and I probably don't even have to wear shoes. Do you know the budget on that York Foundation? I gotta wear nice suits every time. I gotta impress people. I gotta tell them that I'm heavy in on the dividends and I'm buying low and I'm selling high. I'm not even gonna know what I'm talking about. But pig shit, I get that. I could do that all day. And Hillbilly Jim looked like he had the most fun. Hillbilly Jim was on my podcast, and he just seemed like he was happy about life. And that's what I'm looking for right now. I just want to be happy in life from Mudlick, Kentucky, Hillbilly Jim, Uncle Elmer, and Slappy Doo Colt. I could only assume that would be my name. Slappy Doo Colt. At HD Thang asks Colt Cabana, would you rather wrestle a Marco Stunt-sized Luchasaurus or a Luchasaurus-sized Marco Stunt? Don't take this as any disrespect, Marco Stunt, because I think you're a fun wrestler. But even if you're 6'8", I still think you're gonna be. Oh, this is mean. I just feel mean. I'm gonna take a Luchasaurus-sized Marco Stunt. Sorry. You'll do better, Marco. You're gonna be great. You're great. I'm just taking the little dinosaur. He's cute. He's a little dinosaur. At Baker Boy Art asks, would you rather wrestle naked but with boots/leg pads on, or with clothes on but no boots/pads? I was intrigued because what are these leg pads you're talking about? I mean, sometimes I have knee pads, but full on leg pads? And of course, they're leg pads, so they're covering all of my leg. In my head, it's like a giant basketball pole and those pads that go all the way around the pole so the little kids don't get hurt. That's what's going around my legs right there. But it's just on my legs, so there's just a dong hanging outside of those pads, which it's still a little scary. A lot of the Samoans and Jimmy Snuka, and there was this wrestler named Homeless Jimmy once, he didn't wear any. They have clothes on and then they don't wear knee pads and they wrestle without any boots or shoes. So it's pretty heard of, and I feel safe and I would feel comfortable wrestling without knee pads and shoes just in any way. Now you're telling me it's either that or just have my dong out? I mean, I do like the freedom of having my dong out, but wrestling in front of a crowd on a nightly basis, I feel there's going to be a lot of repercussions that come from that, and sadly no kids will be able to come watch me wrestle, which will be sad. I like wrestling in front of kids, so I'm going to want to have my clothes and maybe no shoes or leg pads. Do you think High Spots has leg pads for sale? They must. At Charlie Rose 20 asks Colt Cabana, would you rather fight Jimmy Havoc, where he has staple guns for hands, or fight Kenny Omega in the storming rain in Australia with a koala as the referee? This answer is very easy, and I'm going to tell you why. Kenny Omega is a dream opponent for me, just in general. And I never thought the match was going to happen because he went on to become this giant New Japan Tokyo Dome star while I was still wrestling in the VFW halls. But fate has brought it now where we're both wrestling for AEW. And I made my own angle where I walk in on his stuff on being the elite, and now he's pissed at me. And basically now the internet, when before had no interest in this match, kind of want to see this match. And it's a match that I've wanted for a long time. Also, I love Australia. I've wrestled in Perth, I've wrestled in Melbourne, I've wrestled in Sydney, I've wrestled in a lot of great places. Adeline, is Adeline a country? Adeline. That can't be right. Adeline. Well, you know which one I'm talking about. Koala bear as the referee. When you go to these places in Australia, they usually don't even let you pet or touch the koala bears. Some do if they're cool, but usually they're like, stay away because they got chlamydia and you're going to get chlamydia. Basically, koala bears were like the original pandemic animal. Now, the koala bear is my referee. And you know Kenny and I are going to do spots with this koala bear, and I'm going to get the opportunity to play with it and hang out with it and touch it and be friends with it, bring it home possibly to Chicago. So that's all good. And then the other one is Jimmy Havoc, fighting him, and his hands aren't even hands, they're staple guns. How is he going to get in the ring? I know you think that like, oh, staple guns, that's crazy, his hands are staple guns. But how's he even going to tie his boots? His hands are staple guns. He's not even going to be able to lock up or probably be able to pin me. Yes, he can staple me, I guess, if he gets a hold of me, but that's an easy match. Basically, I'm wrestling a man with no arms. How's he even going to put on his clothes when he wrestles me? You know what? Maybe wrestling Jimmy Havoc would be easy and I would win. And I probably, of course, would get booked to lose against Kenny Omega no matter what it is. So for my own ego, fine, I would wrestle Jimmy Havoc with staple guns' hands so I could win a match. But for the sanity of my own life and to have fun and to wrestle a great wrestler like Kenny Omega, I'm not saying you're not a great Jimmy Havoc, but you got fucking hands as staple guns. The main reason I'm gonna do this is I want that koala bear as my ref. Sorry, Bryce Remsburg, but a koala bear is way cuter. At Bard Breon asked, yo! That's not an ass, that's a scream. Colt Cabana, would you rather cold call Undertaker for advice after receiving his number through a friend of a friend, or would you rather wrestle New Jack in a first blood match? The New Jack one will be over the quickest. We know that much because we saw what he did to Mass Transit. I mean, he just whips it out and there you go. But one of the scariest options I've ever heard on Would You Rather would be cold calling The Undertaker by getting his number through a friend of a friend. I don't care if he's trying to come off like a nice guy on Instagram with Michelle. Dude's scary. And I'm not talking Undertaker scary. I'm talking back of the locker room. How you doing? I'm Scotty Goldman. Nice to meet you. All right. I mean, scary. Too scary. How did you get this number? And he can be so intimidating, and he likes using his intimidation. We know that, okay? I know that from stories in the locker room passed down. In his head, I'm not intimidating, I'm The Undertaker. I had lunch with Ricky Starks on a show once, and I was like, look at me, I like hanging out with the younger guys. You know, I can relate to the younger generation. You just gotta go out there and you gotta want it. Blah, 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 blah. No, man, you're a scary motherfucker. So scary that I would rather be in a first blood match with the psychopath named New Jack, who will murder a person in a ring for fun because he can, than cold calling you, Undertaker. The anxiety of phone calls in general. New Jack, it's me and you. Sorry that you hate white people, but I like to think I'm one of the good ones. Please take care of me. At that Shane Blah asks, would you rather, Colt Cabana, no ropes match or a match with extra ropes? This is so simple, but so great. How many extra ropes? 4 ropes instead of 3? Or 20 ropes instead of 3? You know, a no-rope match has been done before. I've never heard of a match with double the ropes, or triple the ropes, or the whole side done with ropes where you're caged in by ropes. That would be so fun. Yes, Impact had this vision of 6 sides to the ring, and they were wrong, and still are wrong. But maybe somebody will have a vision of 6 ropes, of 8 ropes, of 12 ropes, of 15 ropes. I can keep on doing this, that you get the idea. So much like never seeing a blue duck and wanting to see a blue duck, I've never seen a ring with that many ropes, and I'd like to have a match with extra ropes.